The market closes flat, but did someone win the war? This is Invest with Jacob. Okay, guys, so in yesterday's video, we talked about the fact that we were looking for a small pullback, then a break up to the high side, and that's exactly what we saw as the market pulled back in the pre-market, then pushed higher during the day before closing basically flat. Now the bulls are set up for a breakout. The question is, will they follow through? I'll get into that in just one second, but first, if you're new here, welcome to the show, guys. My name is Jacob Gabbard, and this is Invest with Jacob, where we use Elliott Wave Theory to break down the SP 500 and the NASDAQ. I highly encourage you to hit that subscribe button down below so that you can get our daily S&P updates, our trade setups, and our buy alerts. All right, guys, so with the market closing flat, the bulls are set up for a breakout. We had another great day trading in the room. As you can see on the screen, we had a day trade at the bottom, the low line there at 73% winner. People are making money. We're having a great time. Guys, it's not just a trading room. I share my life with people. It's a community. We support each other, and it's a lot of fun. And if you're not having fun with the stock market, you should probably check us out. If you want to, stay tuned for later in the video. But for now, let's jump into the chart and take a look. Okay, guys, so here we are on the 1-hour futures chart for the S&P 500. And in yesterday's video, I told you we had 3 up here. We were looking for a 4 or 5. We didn't really get it. And so it does make me a little skeptical of this being a wave 1. I don't really have a great count for that. So it does look more like the primary count as this is A, B, C for this black A wave right here. And then we'd be looking at potentially either all of B or A, B, C for this B wave. And then a C wave up toward the 4450 to 4480 area to complete this wave 5 in that diagonal we've been talking about off of the low. So that would be kind of how we look at this overall in a primary count. We could see another push lower. It is possible that this B wave is already done right here. So we could have this B wave complete. But overall, we would look for potentially one more low into that 4360 area and then a breakout to the upside for the bulls. The alternate is that this is a wave 1, okay? And if that's the case, you have 1, 2, 1, 2, and assuming they hold yesterday's low and they break out over this high here at about 44.23, then we'd be looking for a pretty direct breakout up toward this 45.20 area and a pretty strong move. So we'll want to see them break out. It'll kind of be choppy up through this area, this 44.20 to... what's the high here? 44.30 area. Should be choppy through there. Remember, once we get through the pivot, which is about right here, we kind of chop around and then we break out. And if that's the case, okay, they hold yesterday's low, they break up over this B wave high, and they shoot up through the 45.80 area up to the 45.20 area for this wave 3, and then we would be looking for a 4-5 from there up to about the 45.70 area overall off of that low to give us the first A wave of that bigger wave 5 towards 4,800. So that would be the 2 bullish counts that we're looking at to the upside. Again, to the downside, the bears really don't have a whole lot going. They really need to kind of give up this high. This is really clear, 3 waves down, A, B, C, and then we'll see what they build to the upside. But if we can get an A, B, C up that takes out the high and then they start to drop, then the bears can start talking again about what they can put together to the downside. But to be quite honest with you, a break over this high, this wave 3 high, would make me feel pretty comfortable that the bottom is in down here, and we'd be pushing higher toward 4,800. So this high, I think, is pretty important at about 44.30. They come up and break through that. We should see a squeeze in a wave 3 or minimum wave C up to 44.80 or so. And once we see that happen, once we see a break over this 44.30 area, and I don't mean a break like this. I mean a break where they get up into 44, 40, 50, you know, where they're pushing above it and pushing away from 44.30 instead of kind of just sitting on it like this, okay? So we want to see a breakout over that area, and once we get that, I would be comfortable for a bottom, but the bears really need a high in order to build something to the downside. This is not a very conducive structure for another low, and so we would look for a bullish kind of breakout to happen here, either after we push down in a C wave like this, then up, or directly from here, depending on kind of which count we're in. Over on the NASDAQ, okay, on the NASDAQ, it's a little bit different because they did break this low down here, so we did get a little poke of that low to get us a new low, and because of that, okay, it counts just a little bit different than ES, where this is going to be 3, the poke lower was 4, and kind of a ABC flat kind of deal, A, B, C, and kind of a flat, but a poke lower, and then we'd be looking for An ABC up, because remember we are talking diagonals, where this would be A off the low, B, and then C up toward that 15.5 to 15.600 area we've been talking about to complete wave 5 of this leading diagonal off of the lows. And if that's the case, once we get up into this area, we should see sharp selling back to the downside, because that's what happened when diagonals in. If we don't see that and the market is unable to really kind of start selling to the downside and we kind of get a small pullback, we should see this complete up towards the 15.800 area and more of the alternate count. And the alternate count looks a little more like the move off of the low is a 1, 2, and then you get 3, 4, 5 for 1, and then 2, 3, 4, and 5 kind of move back up to the close to the 16,000 area for this move. If not above that, that's where we would look for this move to end in a C wave. For 5 of 3, as the whole move up would be a bigger diagonal. That's kind of how it's playing out overall. Then we'd look for a bigger wave 4 and bigger wave 5 up after that toward the new all-time highs. So a couple of different ways to count this on NASDAQ. Because of that low, it does make it a little bit different, where we would have completed wave 4 yesterday as opposed to having wave 4 already complete. So they're about a wave behind the ES on that. If the ES is going to take its ABC up in wave 5 toward that 44.80 area, then so is the NASDAQ. It's not going to continue to blow through while ES is sitting back here. So they should move pretty much in step on whichever count they decide to break out in. But again, to the downside, you would expect this to be impulsive, because you would be looking for C of 3, which would be in that diagonal to the downside, and you do not have anything impulsive working here. So the bears need another high to work off of. They need to kind of poke above this high and then start selling strongly. And if they can do that, then we could look for potentially some downside movement from the bears. But overall, this is not looking like a strong downside structure on the NASDAQ. Guys, if you love the information that I give out in these videos and you want real-time market updates from me, you need to check out investwithjacob.com. There's a link down in the description. Go ahead and click that link, and it will take you right over to the website. Once you're there, check out our membership plans area. We have 2 incredible plans, and they both come with a 7-day free trial. Because I want you to get in there, I want you to make sure you love it and become part of this trading team. We're not just a trading room where I throw out trades for no reason and just hope you win or lose. We have calculated risk reward. We do very well. We make money, and we are a community. We're friends. I've met people from my trading room. We talk. We share family stories. It's really a wonderful place. And I want you to be part of that before you ever spend a penny, so that you know it's for you. You can cancel at any time. We also have our Elliott Wave for Beginners online course. If you're struggling to figure out why this market continues to push higher, even though CPI was hot, retail sales were hot, PPI was hot, everything is going against what the bulls should want. The bonds are pushing higher, and yet here we are pushing higher in the markets as well. If you want to understand why, this course can help you do that. As you can see on the screen, it's helping real traders make real money and understand the market in a way that makes sense. It's 25 videos in 3 parts, where I go over the introduction, which gives you the expectations, your mindset and emotion, the KISS method, and why it works. The chart setup, every tool you need with your chart so that you can confirm what you're seeing in the Elliott Wave counts. These tools work together with it to give you a very strong indication of what's going on, as well as the Elliott Wave for Beginners portion, where I go through each wave, its failure points, its targets, how they work, what you're looking for, as well as the corrective zigzag theory of alternation, corrective depth theory, the pivot, everything you want to know to understand the market in a way that makes sense instead of trying to guess on these news cycles. The really cool part is it's included in both of our monthly plans. So if you don't want to pay for the course, you can become a monthly member and you get it for free. In my first room, the Invest with Jacob room, you get all of my real-time market updates, all of my buy and sell alerts, all of your Elliott Wave questions answered, a midday video where I go over exactly where we are in the counts and what to expect, as well as the training material you just saw. We trade the SPY and the QQQ, and we swing trade, and now also we day trade. You saw at the beginning the algorithm we have is giving us day trades. We are absolutely crushing it on day trades as well as our swing trades. But if you are looking for individual stocks, advanced trading, as well as PT's incredible reduced risk binary method that just crushes the market, you need to check out PT's Throne Room. In there, you get everything you get in the Invest with Jacob room, as well as individual stocks, day trading, and PT's reduced risk binary method that just crushes the market. He gets you in at a very cheap price and gets you big multiples on your money, and it's how he structures his trades. It's so unique. It's something you kind of have to see to understand, and that's another reason we give you that 7-day free trial. He also started a challenge account where he put $4,000 into an account, trading mini ES futures averaging 3 to 4% gains per week, showing you how to build a small account into a large retirement or savings account. Guys, we would love to have you in these rooms so we can all make money together. All right, the key takeaways for today. Really looking for two potentials, either a little bit deeper of a pullback for a deeper B wave and then up, or directly up. We would target about 43.60 or so on this pullback. It can come a little bit lower than that. Ultimately, it has to stay above this A in general. But then we'd look for a move higher or either a direct move higher. A direct move higher does lend itself toward the bigger count up towards 45.70, where a pullback does point more toward the 44.80 area or so. Over on the NASDAQ, same types of setups, only the NASDAQ is about one wave behind. We would look for continuation in this B wave to the downside, then C up toward the 15.5 to 15.600 area we've been talking about. Or if they decide to hold the low where they're at and it start to extend higher, we would be looking for a bigger count up toward the 16,000 area overall. Guys, that is your market update for today. I will talk to you tomorrow.